Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, guru, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, preacher, one and all. And this is the one-stop destination that is English Gurukul, the edifice or the odyssey of education. And guys, there's a good news out there that our golden, platinum, and silver batches, they have started, and a lot of the students are selecting the platinum batch and they're enrolling in my batches. So and one more thing I want to just communicate over here is that just giving a call, because I'm receiving a lot of calls. I'm really grateful for that, but yeah, I will like it. I will like your appreciate your if you message me, right? So message me on that number, on the given number, and I would love to see you in my class, in my sessions, right? So having said that, let's dive deep into the recesses, and today I'm gonna be covering I've brought one special session which is only meant for CTET candidates or the aspirants of CTET, right? So I'll be discussing the sample or the PYQs, the sample questions. So I'm going to bring the series which I would be starting it from day 1, that is today. So today is day 1. So I'll try to finish it off in about 12 days, and the series will carry on. So this is day 1 of it, and in this lecture or in this session I would be basically talking about CTET Paper-2 July, which was held in July 2024, year 2024, right? What are we waiting for? Let's get started, right? So we are going to cover child development and pedagogy. So the first question that is there is, in progressive education, children are perceived as innocent and dependent. A part. B option. Compliant and capable of only consuming knowledge. So they are considered to be compliant, that is, they do not want to study, they don't want to they are reluctant, so to say, and capable of consuming knowledge, and they're capable of consuming knowledge, which you can ponder over. Yeah. Then we have the C part, which is knowledgeable and meaning makers. So they are knowledgeable and they're meaning makers, right? And this is the correct option, right? Then we have vulnerable and in need of protection. So the real progressive, as the name only suggests, that we are talking about the meaning makers, right? So students and learners in teaching learning process, they are considered as meaning makers, as someone who is possessing knowledge, and therefore they can create their own meanings and they can construct. So we are talking about a constructivist structure over here. Then we come on to the second question, feedback. Now I'll be telling you the responses, the answers, the correct answers only, right? So that your time is also, because we need to utilize our time judiciously, right? So feedback to the students in a classroom is most effective when it occurs during as well as after the learning activity. So it's just not that feedback is given during a particular task that is going on, but it can be given after a particular task is over or it's done, right? So feedback to the students in a classroom is must and it's most effective when it occurs during as well as after the learning activity. So it can be, the teacher gauges and comes to know that, and should know that when to assess and when to tell the student about the blind spots that are, or the missing dots that are there, and how they should connect those, right? Then we have assertion and reason. So during adolescence, the pressures to conform to gender expectations and follow conventions of femininity or masculinity increases. Gender and gender roles are determined biologically. So herein A is true but R is false. So we get to see that during adolescence, the pressures to conform to gender expectations and follow conventions of femininity or masculinity increases, right? But gender and gender roles are determined biologically. This is incorrect, right? Then we have Sunita, a 12-year-old girl, shows exceptional musical ability. Both her parents are accomplished singers, and both her parents are also accomplished singers, right? So, and they send her for classes for voice training after school. Her capabilities are most likely to be the result of an interaction between, obviously, heredity and environment, because her parents are also singers, and she's also exceptional at music, right? She possesses this musical ability, right? And they also send her for classes for voice training after school. All right. So it's a result of heredity. That means she has inherited this, all these traits from her parents, as well as she has taken these traits from the environment, because she's learning from the outside source, right? So it's a combination of both, right? Composition of both. Then we come on to the next question. Sensitive periods are those time periods during which certain dash are especially important for a course of normal development. So environmental factors. So sensitive periods are those time periods during which certain environmental factors are especially important for course of normal development. So environmental factors, we all know that how environment affects us. So environment should be such and created in such a manner, in such a way that it suits the requirements, that it suits the needs, that it suits the desires of each and every individual, and therefore it caters, right? So sensitive periods are those time periods during which certain dash are especially important for a course of normal development, that is environmental factors. In order to develop critical thinking among students, a teacher should give questions that involve inferences and explanations. So in order to develop critical thinking, among students, or if you want in your pupils, that critical, not creative. We have two special skills: creative thinking and critical thinking. Critical thinking is different. Creative thinking is a different portion, right, of the mind. So we have the logical side, that is the other one, and the creative side that falls into the other hemisphere, right? So yeah, so in order to develop, obviously if you have to develop critical thinking, for example, if you have to do if you're good at mathematics, then you have to have logical thinking, you have to have rational thinking, you have to develop that mind set, right? And for that you need to give, for that one needs to give questions that involve inferences, right? That involve quite explanations, right? Examples, inferences, right? Then a teacher asks herself, how can I provide experiences that require students to classify different types of objects in the environment and analyze their classification schemes? Which intelligence is she trying to promote in students? So we will be talking about naturalistic intelligence. How can I provide experiences that require students to classify different types of objects in the environment and analyze their classification schemes? Which intelligence is trying to promote, which is she trying to promote in her students? Tell me. How will students classify different types of objects in the environment and analyze the different and analyze their classification schemes? Through naturalistic intelligence, right? How does setting mastery goals impact a student's motivation and views of ability? It often implies enhanced intrinsic motivation and belief in the incremental view of the ability, right? So how does setting mastery goals impact a student's motivation and views of ability? It often implies enhanced intrinsic motivation and belief in the incremental view of ability. Clear? I hope it is clear. Next. Rana is a teacher who is implementing Vygotsky's theory, right? So we get to see a teacher and we get to see which big name. We get to see Vygotsky. We get to see Vygotsky's theory in her classroom, and she assigns her students to work in groups to complete a challenging task. During the task, one student struggles to understand a key concept. What should be the most effective way for Ramu to help this student? So work through the problem with the student and providing guidance and feedback as needed while involving other group members. So the best thing would be that you work through the problem with the student, that you are also solving the same, you are on the same page as the child is, as your pupil is, right? And you're providing guidance and feedback as and whenever it is needed, right? While involving other group members. Then we get to see assertion reason type question. Again, teachers should encourage debates, discussions, and collaborations among students. This was the assertion part. Then we have the reason part. Knowledge production is an inactive process, and engagement in group activities hinders meaningful learning. Choose the correct option. So, assertion is true, but reason is false. So teachers should encourage debates. Obviously, they should. As teachers, we should encourage debates. We should encourage discussions. We should encourage collaborations among students, that how students should collaborate, right? And how they should work. And knowledge production is the reason is knowledge production is that the correct reason. Knowledge production is an inactive process. Is it? or it is an active process? Just think about it. It is an active process. So constructing knowledge, as I've mentioned before, in this session only, that how I think it was the first question only, that how knowledge is constructed, right, in a classroom by the students and with the teacher, with the help of the teacher, right? So yeah. And knowledge is a production, so it's not an inactive process, and engagement in group activities hinders. How can engagement in group activities hinder the process of meaningful learning? It helps to enhance their conversational, their social skills, right? So A is true, but R is false. This so we are done with our series of 10 questions each. For now, this is it. I'll be meeting you after 10 minutes, so I'll take 10 minutes break and then we meet. All right, so let's wrap up this session. I hope you liked this session. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. In this way, we are gonna proceed and we are gonna make it, right? So with this, I would love to conclude, and yeah, this is it from my end. Till then, keep liking my video, keep sharing my video, keep on clicking on the button on each and every video that I have been producing, and you just have to click on that bell icon and click on all, so that you get the notifications of each and every video that I've uploaded, and that I will upload in the future as well. So yeah, keep on loving my videos, that you'll love it, you'll like my video, and you'll subscribe to my channel. Till then, let's all keep learning. Till then, let's all keep growing. Thank you.